investigation for his use of force. Those who are interested in testifying may attend in person tonight or online. It starts at 5 o'clock this evening in Montpelier. Well, today the price of gas is topping $4 a gallon on average. That's the highest since 2022, with both sides in the Iran war striking oil and gas targets. President Trump is now threatening Iran's civilian energy and water infrastructure unless Iran agrees to key U.S. demands. The escalating threats and continuing attacks come even as the White House says negotiations towards a deal are going well. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
New images of war showing overnight explosions in the Iranian city of Isfahan and undated U.S. military strikes on Iranian vehicles and aircraft.
We struck more than 11,000 targets.
That as these new photos show a U.S. Air Force radar plane heavily damaged in an Iranian strike on an airbase in Saudi Arabia Friday. Several American service members were injured, according to two U.S. officials. The White House ramping up the pressure on Iran.
Their best move is to make a deal, or else the United States Armed Forces has capabilities beyond their wildest imagination.
That includes a threat from President Trump to target civilian infrastructure by obliterating Iran's power plants and oil wells and possibly water desalination plants if Tehran does not agree to demands by next week, including abandoning its nuclear ambitions. While on the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump said in a new post, U.S. allies should, quote, go get your own oil, saying the U.S. won't be there to help them anymore because he says they weren't there for us.
It's not just the United States Navy. Last time I checked, there was supposed to be a big bad Royal Navy that could be prepared to do things like that as well. So he's pointing out this is an international waterway that we use less than most.
And even as 3,500 additional U.S. troops arrived in the Middle East, President Trump insists great progress has been made toward a deal, revealing one of the Iranian officials he says the U.S. has been indirectly communicating with is the country's hardline parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf.
These folks are appearing more reasonable behind the scenes privately in these conversations.
Conversations Iran denies are happening. Despite the buildup of U.S. troops in the Middle East, the White House says President Trump has not made any decisions about putting boots on the ground in Iran, a move that lawmakers in both parties have been clear they would want to weigh in on. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Next at noon, a homicide investigation is underway in northern New York.
It's definitely going to take a big toll on all of us.
The latest details from law enforcement and how neighbors are reacting to a man they knew being stabbed to death. Welcome back. Your time now is 12:10, and today we're hearing from neighbors who knew the victim of a deadly stabbing in Rouse's Point. The Clinton County District Attorney's Office says New York State Police went to the Anchorage Motel on Saturday after receiving a 911 call that Tyrone Biggs was dead inside one of the apartments there. An autopsy determined Biggs died from severe blood loss as a result of a stab wound to the neck. State police later arrested Biggs's neighbor, Austin Lapierre. He's facing second-degree murder and criminal possession of a weapon. Neighbors say that Biggs had been living at the motel for about a year now and was nice to everyone.
My girls knew him as Papa Ty, and it's definitely going to take a big toll on all of us.
Lapierre is scheduled to appear in Moore's Justice Court on Thursday. New York State Police are also investigating a series of possibly linked deaths. Officials say that this started Friday evening in Jefferson County. State troopers got a call for a reported trespassing on Alpine Road in Diana. Security footage from the home there shows someone passing through the property. Police say it looked like a man was carrying a long gun. Troopers then found two burned vehicles nearby with human remains found in both. Police then went to a nearby residence. The suspect came out armed and started shooting at police. A state trooper then shot the man. He was declared dead at the scene. The incident is under investigation. Well, two men accused of robbing a convenience store at Knife Point in Enosburg Falls will be back in court in May. 28-year-old Mark Clapper and 33-year-old Toby Merrier are both accused of robbing the Jolly by Stewart shops on Main Street. They pled not guilty to charges including armed assault and robbery. Investigators say Clapper stole several $100s from the store last Monday, then returned with Merrier on Wednesday. They both had knives and got away with hundreds of dollars. Longtime employee Linda Kennison was behind the counter during those robberies. She says that she's dealt with thieves before, but nothing like this.
It was devastating. I really thought I was going to get hurt. And people really need to know that, this is not acceptable. They didn't get away with a whole lot of money, But me, I've had a hard time sleeping. Because of this.
Clapper is being held without bail. Merrier's bail was set at $5,000. Both men are expected to be back in court in early May. Well, South Burlington police are asking for the public's help in identifying a suspect after a late-night break-in at a local store. Officers responded to an alarm at the AT&T store on Dorset Street just before midnight yesterday, where police say a man forced his way inside, stole more than $3,000 in merchandise, and then ran off. Surveillance video shows the suspect wearing dark clothing, white sneakers, and a backpack. Anyone with information is asked to contact the South Burlington Police Department. Well, a new terminal is now open at the Burlington International Airport next at noon, what travelers can expect starting today. time now is 12:16, and travelers in Burlington may be flying out of a brand new terminal today. The newest terminal at the Burlington International Airport is opening its doors today. Known as Project Next, the terminal has been years in the making, adding more gates, jet bridges, and expanded passenger areas. Officials say that the project is meant to improve day-to-day operations and create a better experience for everyone passing through the airport. The first flight out of the new terminal departed just before noon. Well, looking up at the sky, you might see more than a few extra planes this month. There will be a few notable astronomical events next month, including a potential meteor shower. The first is happening on Wednesday night. Some parts of eastern North America could spot a pink moon. On the 17th, you may be able to catch a glimpse of a new moon. This also means it's a pretty good time to go out for a night of stargazing. At the end of the month, the Lyrid meteor shower could be visible from Earth, and at its peak, you could spot 10 to 15 meteors per hour. The best viewing time is expected to be during the darkest hours of the day, so after moonset or just before dawn. Luckily for some of us here, Andrew,
certified most accurate forecast
to see it happen, maybe get a glimpse.
For you, because you get up nice and early.
I will be.
If I stay up late enough at night, I can catch it. We can get it on both ends.
Yeah, we'll see both sides.
Fingers crossed the sky condition cooperates. You know, clouds can always ruin the show, but meteors pretty cool to see. I remember a couple years ago, we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of the total solar eclipse. I was at Plattsburgh City Beach. We had the blue sky. That was gorgeous to take in. So cool.
Once in a lifetime event, some may say.
Absolutely. So yeah, a lot to look forward to in the month ahead. Of course, we'll be gradually turning warmer and probably more sunshine, especially as we get later into April. And of course, the buds forming on the trees, just a few weeks away from that in the valleys. So in the short term, though, we do have impact weather. A lot of the rest of this week, we've got some downpours, rumbles of thunder, possibly late this evening. Some isolated areas of some icing possible the next couple days, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, it is a milder look, but it will come with additional rain showers. So we have potential across most of the viewing area for some embedded rumbles of thunder later today. And then there is a 1 out of 5 severe risk, clipping St. Lawrence and Essex counties of New York down to the Bennington area, and a slightly higher risk as you head towards Syracuse there into central New York. So we'll be watching for potential storm development this afternoon. We've got the stationary front with a couple areas of low pressure very close to us. So that's giving us the clouds and the waves of showers as we go forward. A lot of us are dry for now. We've got that gray look to the sky. It's overcast and some scattered lighter rain showers. Rutland over to Lebanon, points south down towards the Massachusetts border. Quite a temperature contrast right now. 36 in Newport, 35 in Messina. Saranac Lake is 38, but actually in Tupper Lake in the 50s right now. And then as you head towards Bennington and Rutland, close to 60 degrees. So balmy south, kind of a chilly raw feel to the north. Here goes Futurecast. Quiet the next few hours, but by evening commute time, 5, 6 o'clock, showers start to fill back in. And there may be some heavy pockets of rain with embedded thunderstorms late this evening into early parts of the overnight, especially central and southern Vermont into our New Hampshire counties. Look at those areas of red there. So watch for some hydroplaning if you're on the roads late. Tomorrow morning could be some light freezing rain perhaps in the northern Adirondacks or towards Jay Peak. So just keep that in mind. But overall tomorrow it's a pretty quiet day. Mostly cloudy, just a few spotty light rain showers, maybe a sprinkle or two, but most of the day looking dry for Wednesday. Clouds with a couple rays of sun perhaps. And then Thursday may start dry, but we're watching for some light rain showers kind of scattered about to shift in during the afternoon. There may be again some light freezing rain into the Adirondacks, also near the Green Mountain Spine into Grafton and Sullivan counties of New Hampshire. So those areas may be just contending with a light icing, and then heading into Friday, scattered rain showers, but milder by that point. So this is the rainfall later today into Wednesday and Thursday. So the next couple days, widespread 1/4 to 1/2 inch, but south of Route 4, 1 to 2 inch plus potential. We're also tracking that temperature contrast sticking around in the days to come. 30s and 40s tomorrow north, 62 in Brattleboro. How about Thursday? Cooler for all of us in the 40s, but then by Friday, yep, we're warming things up. A lot of us back into the 60s, and we do stay pretty mild heading into Easter weekend. So here is how it looks on the extended forecast. Saturday, mostly dry, could be showers late, 54. Easter Sunday, 51, probably some sun, but there will be a period of rain with a cold front going through. And then next week, looking pretty quiet with some sunshine, 40s and 50s for highs. Adrian?
All right, Andrew, thanks. Well, Franklin County, Vermont's outgoing top prosecutor is making a run for the same job in Chittenden County. Brand Kronigfeld has led the state's attorney's office in Franklin County since John Lavoie resigned from the role 2 years ago. Kronigfeld says that he wants to restore faith in the local criminal justice system.
And hold together the thread of this beautiful, welcoming, caring, tight-knit, dynamic, diverse, offbeat community that we have here in Chittenden County. But we have to actually do something in order to do that.
Kronigfeld formerly represented Ward 2 on Burlington City Council. Incumbent Chittenden County State's Attorney Sarah George is running for re-election and welcomed him to the race, saying that she's looking forward to a campaign, quote, grounded in facts over fear. The date for the primary election is August 11th. Well, staying in Chittenden County, the current sheriff, Dan Gamelin, is announcing that he's running for re-election. The Winooski native has more than 4 decades of law enforcement experience. He is seeking another 4-year term after first taking on the role in February of 2023, receiving support from both Democrats